Welcome to Get Serious. Excited to be back today. If you're watching this on video, I know, especially with the high def camera, you might notice those stitches next to my eye. Luckily, they blend mostly into the eyebrow there. It just took a bit of a hit during basketball game over the weekend, so just in a bit of Frankenstein mode at the moment. But it should heal up here shortly. Anyway, I just wanted to provide a bit of an update. I know I talked about over the past 2 or 3 weeks, I forget exactly when, the Google business profile kind of ongoing saga and the strategy behind that to get verified there. So I believe the last time I had just kind of remarked, hey, this is important for SEO, and now there's just like a whole bunch of anti-fraud protections related to getting verified on Google My Business. So just a little bit more detail here, and I think filling in some blanks from the last time that I talked about this. I think I was less informed about it. But I mean, this used to be, first off, super easy. Like I remember we had from one of our previous brands when we were still marketing out for land deals, like to purchase on our own and so forth. Like it was super easy. I mean, this was still in 2020 roughly that we had set this up, because I remember getting Google reviews from buyers. So, and it definitely did not require like these detailed video verification of office setups and everything. And for those of you who are like, yeah, what are you talking about? Whenever you see like a business profile, usually on the right-hand side of the screen, or, if you're on mobile, kind of the first thing that shows up for a business with all the various reviews and the address, what have you. In order to set that up now, Google requires a like full video walkthrough of, the business address. Is there anything noting on the exterior of the business to indicate the name of it? And you have to be able to show at least electronic copies of, EIN, or you have access to website related to the business. You need some type of physical, I don't even know what you call it, just physical, paperwork or signage of the actual business. So if that's like a business card or something on your door to indicate the business, and you have to be able to show all of this within one video. And so we tried this 3 times and failed all 3 times for kind of different reasons. I was using ChatGPT to try to figure this out. And after failing, it's kind of 3 strikes. I don't tell you that, but they're like, hey, you can't be doing this anymore. I was not aware at the time, because it's like, we're an online business. I run the business primarily out of a home office. So like, I don't really want my home address being shown on the profile. So we had marked, hey, there's no address associated with this business. It's just like focused on deliveries and so forth. But it's kind of a catch-22, because when you do that, Google will have, and there's probably mainly AI is reviewing these videos for them anyway. They were starting to flag, hey, it's not showing the address of the business, not showing the address of the business. So we're failing from that side. In reality, people have more of a workaround where it's like, show the address that you're at, even if it's your home address, get verified first, and then turn off the ability to view your address. So I didn't know that until I probably should have checked prior. But, here we are. So failed 3 strike policy. Then, I tried to appeal it to Google, and all these big corporations, like, they are such a black box. They have like non-existent customer service. I remember years ago too, we got just banned suddenly from YouTube, and we used to have a whole bunch of videos like internal training and so forth. And it was like a huge hassle. We put so much work in, didn't have backups, and we had to go, like, we had multiple appeals that were just getting buried. And we had to, fortunately, one of my partners, his family member or somebody related to his family, like, had started a job at Google, and they were able to work some internal digging to figure out that, yeah, we were just kind of like buried in the priority list, and like we were blacklisted technically, but like all our appeals were just going into a black hole. But he was able to rectify that situation, get us unbanned. But it just goes to show, like, sometimes you get stuck in these holes, especially at like Google, Meta, like my Facebook Marketplace on Meta has been banned for well over a year. Like, there's no real way to appeal. Like, it's just it's just blocked. And so you can kind of get stuck within these holes here and have to find your way around. So like I was trying to say Google, hey, how can I still re-verify? And they were more adamant about like, hey, first off, online businesses, you're not even allowed to have Google business profiles, but they don't say that prior. You have to like go through a Merchant Center account. But I'm like, we're a real estate business. Sometimes like notaries come at like, you want to find wiggle room too. Plus, like I was talking to my SEO consultant and he's like, I know they're a pain to work with, but so much of SEO and the AI search rankings, like I can't describe it technically enough because it's not, within my area of expertise. It's like so much is just tied to like an anchor point related to your Google business profile. So like just find a way to get it through. Like you can use Yelp as another option here, but it's just not as good for search rankings. So it's like, okay, just keep digging to try to figure this out. And so I was trying to finagle, okay, yeah, we're not exactly an online business. And like, okay, I appealed the decision. But just never heard back from Google for like 2 weeks. But then I try to re-verify again, and it's just kind of this has happened like a couple of times where they never updated me, sent any notification. It's just like all of a sudden, yeah, I could potentially verify again. But, like there was no indication that I could do so until I went and tried to do it again. But now it has to go through a live video call. And so I hopped on one of those a bit over a week ago. And this time they didn't even ask for the address, but they just said, hey, where's your like physical signage for the company? And I showed them, hey, I had just done like a printout of, the Serious Land Capital, put it on my office door effectively and had business cards. And it's like, okay, that's just an immediate fail. It can't just be a printout, which again is just so inconsistent because me having that, printout signage was no issue during the original verifications. It was the address piece that was failing. So like they say, okay, you need the signage. I printed out that passed the first test, and now it's another one. Well, no, that's not good enough. So again, just goes to show the inconsistency sometimes with these larger corporations, different review mechanisms. And I was like, yeah, okay, can I just like fix this during the call? He's like, no, we can't do that. But and it's like, okay, can you just tell me very clearly what is needed for us to pass this part of the verification? I'm sure they get answers like this all the time, like edge cases like ours. I mean, there's so many companies out there that are just run out of a home office, so they must get this question a lot. It's like, okay, it needs to be something, like permanent signage, like a some type of physical, I keep saying physical, but almost like an engraved sign that needs to go into the door, so like glued or nailed on, what have you, like something that can't just be taped on necessarily, or you need some type of banner, or it could be on the wall potentially. You could have it on the exterior of the building, like again some type of banner. You could have a yard sign. So that kind of triggered in my mind, like that seems pretty simple to do and probably pretty cost effective. So I made sure to grab all those examples, transcript, etc. So it's like, okay, I went back to our ops manager and it's like, okay, can you figure out, well, actually I went back to ChatGPT, like, hey, give me some examples of these physical signage, what we can do, the permanent things that Google requires. And they suggested, yeah, like vinyl banner, etc. That seemed a little harder to put up, and I still wasn't sure Google was going to accept that. So I'm like, okay, just prep us a physical sign. I can just put together in the yard really quick and then, take it down after we're done. Living in like a suburb part of Austin. But, the Google employee had indicated, yes, that would work. So we got our ops manager to order up a, logo with the number, the address, etc. for a yard sign. And that had just come in. So I'm about to test that now and get that done. But I just wanted to update you all as far as like this back and forth where we failed this 4 times now, but just have to keep going back to the well, because like if we pass this, it's just very beneficial again for SEO and AI search rankings. Anything you can do to drive further traffic, right? Like it's worth going through the hassle in like today's new economy where so much is tied for that, especially AI search rankings. And then for our land funding partners site, I will probably just use a similar setup, but at my parents' house in Austin instead. So it's not like, I'd rather get the Serious Land Capital one set up first. I'll probably eventually want to do Land Pricer too, which is going to be a different trick, but I could probably work with our CTO on the team to do that one instead here. Like you just got to play some of these games to pass the reviews sometimes, and then just take down the address and just move on with your business. Now that you've kind of passed it, it's not like, Google's going to be routinely auditing these things later on, but you have to pass that first test. So just wanted to update you all as far as again, the rationale why we're putting so much effort into this, because, SEO and organic traffic is the majority of leads that we get nowadays. And the ROI that we've gotten on it compared to the money spent is just it's tremendous. It's 100x in terms of deals that it's brought us, maybe even more than that from a ROAS perspective. So to continue to double down in an area that's worked better for us than anything just makes sense to deal with the hassle. So I will let you know once we sort more of that out, but wanted to provide some more input and some of the workarounds to get through the black box that are these massive corporations. So with that in mind, seriousland.capital for any of your funding needs. Again, $50K purchase price minimum. Land Daily Diligence Facebook group, just reviewed some deals there. Some really interesting ones today, actually. It's one in South Carolina. It was quite difficult. And then landpricer.ai, again, most reliable land pricing tool in the market. A few more bug fixes, and I think we will be live to test a whole bunch of more properties on the next Facebook review and others. So looking forward to that. Subscribe and share, everybody. Enjoyed this one. Take care. Bye.